Hey, what's up guys, Quinn here, and today we're going to be taking a look at another Transformers figure. This is the Baiwei TW-1028 Spock Interstellar Pirate, a knockoff version of the Studio Series 56 Shockwave from Transformers Dark of the Moon. First, we'll take a quick look at the packaging itself. On the front and the back, we have a CG render of Shockwave. Just like with Supreme Leader and TW-1029, they used an official CG render from the movie for the packaging, which is pretty ballsy of them. And on the other side is just the model type. No backdrop since this is a knockoff. Now, let's take a look at the actual figure. This is what happens when you give the designers a lot of creative freedom. This looks spot on to the movie design. Since Shockwave doesn't transform in the movie, the designers at Hasbro has a lot more freedom on making this toy. They were able to make a pretty movie accurate looking figure while also making it transform. Yes, it's not 100% entirely accurate since this is a retool of SS13. That's why you can see it has the thrusters from SS13 on his thigh. Ignoring that, this is a pretty faithful recreation of the movie design. Interestingly, this figure does not include the DNA design upgrade kit. This is a 1-to-1 KO of the actual SS56, which means the cannon is static, the blade cannot be extended, but unlike SS56, the blade, cannon, and the spiky parts on the feet is made out of rubber. It's made out of a flexible plastic, which is great for durability since rubber can break over time. But there are some rubber parts in this figure, the bicep panels. I don't think this is on the original figure, nor the DNA design kit. I could be wrong about that, let me know down in the comments. But it is strange that they made this using rubber, after I just mentioned about the problems of using rubber. They could have easily made this using plastic, or not including it at all would not ruin the figure, since this part has major paint chipping issues. If you watch the unboxing video, link in the description, and look closely to the bicep part, you will see that the paint isn't chipped. I really don't understand the reason why for this. But the paint on the rest of the figure is solid, no paint chip whatsoever. I've seen complaints about the color of the paint they use is too bright, and I can understand that. And Baiwei also released another variant with a more subtle color scheme. It looks closer to the actual SS56, and it looks pretty good as far as I can see. But this G1S color scheme still works for me. The dry brushing is excellently painted, and in my opinion, it's a great callback to how Shockwave looks in the original G1 series. Before Michael Bay butchered it, I still like the look for Shockwave Bay from my friends, please don't dox me. And just like any typical Transformers KO, this guy has die-cast parts. This time it's on his knees, and apart from the loose alt-mode parts on the feet, the figure is solid. I don't have anything more to say about this guy apart from the issues I just mentioned. This is a solid figure. Since this is a retool of SS13, he has a lot of traits from that mold, such as the transformation sequence and the posability. So this guy being a retool of SS13, he has some traits, like I said, of that posability and stuff like that. So first of all, we had a ball joint on the head. Let me just take a look at that. We have a ball joint on the head, which is a ball joint, and of course it comes out really easily because the ball joint on here is very small. So that, I think, because the head sculpt is entirely new, it's not based on the SS56, but I think that's what makes it. I wish the peg's bigger. That's what I'm saying. We got a full 360 rotation on the shoulder. The arm can move out. We have a bicep swivel, bend at the elbow, which is a 90-degree bend. And if this guy, we can take this off. We can put this on the back over here, in the slot over there, or you could put it on the top, just like in the video game. So. And it has a swivel on the hand and also inside out, moving like that. And it has a ball joint on the finger. It's not articulated. It's just a ball joint. So it has a ball joint on each finger, on the base of the finger. There's no like finger articulation. You cannot bend. There's no hinge at the middle, which is a shame because I thought when going to buying this guy, I thought there's gonna be some finger articulation, but nope. Just some ball joint on the bottom of the base, at the base of the fingers. And for the side, it's the same. You have the bicep swivel and bend at the knee, of course. But this guy is loose on the bicep because of how big the cannon is. But there's no finger articulation, except for this finger. You can hinge it out, which is the same. And like I said, of course, that rubber part is just menacing. The paint chip is pretty terrible. I'm just gonna put it on the side for now. There you go. And about the hose is that it's hard to plug in. So I have found some trick. So after just continuously unplug it and plug it, so just you wanna plug it in at a certain angle like this, and then just like push it in, and it should snap back to place. And if you just wanna unplug it at an angle like so, don't just deliberately pull it outwards. You have to pull it and push it in at a certain angle. There's nothing at the waist due to the transformation. The legs can get forward about that far. It can go back about that far. It can go in and out, which is pretty good range. Thigh rotation. We have a single jointed bend at the knee, which is a little over 90 degree bend. And this die-cast knee part can also shift. So it can also go about that far for transformation, but I'm just gonna do it this way. And the feet can move forward, and then they can move back. Oh wait, and it can move back, and also it can tilt side to side, which is a pretty good range of side to side. I really like that. So he is extremely poseable for, I think mid 2020 or 2019 of Studio Series. This guy is pretty poseable, and I'm really surprised that for retail this works so well. It doesn't really resemble Megatron that much. This is a retool of Megatron, which is interesting. I like that type part that I just mentioned. It's pretty good. And like I said, the hand itself doesn't have any finger articulation. Like, this doesn't have any DNA Design upgrade kit installed or included, to be precise. But the hand, I think, is based on DNA Design upgrade kit for the base of the hand that allows for some swivels. I think that's based on DNA Design kit. I could be wrong about that. Let me know down in the comments. And yeah, and apart from that, this annoying loose part, this is very loose, and it can pop off easily, too easily. It's very loose from this spot, but I have learned to kind of handle this. I kind of learned it. So apart from these alt mode parts that are extremely loose, this figure mostly are entirely solid. For size comparison, here he is compared alongside my bootleg SH Figuarts Marvel Spider-Man, my previous review, the Baiwei TW-1028, Baiwei Star Leader, and Baiwei Supreme Leader. So the robot mode is fantastic, probably one of the best Studio Series molds ever, and the transformation is pretty satisfying. Transformation is enjoyable and satisfying, like I said. The legs and the shoulders transform similarly to the SS13, but with a minor modification. Again, with that hose, you have to unplug it, which is a bit annoying since it's sometimes pretty hard to plug it back in. There are tabs that plugs the back thrusters that I need to shave since originally it's too thick and the head being loose makes it so hard to adjust. Everything else plugs in nicely, and I do enjoy transforming this guy from time to time. Alt mode is I get why it looks like this since, like I said, Shockwave doesn't transform in the movie, though they have no references to based on what Shockwave's alt mode is supposed to look like. I don't mind the look, honestly, since I'll be displaying him in robot mode, and you can use your imagination to interpret that this is his Cybertronian alt mode. The tread doesn't move, but it has 4 small wheels that can roll very well. But I wish it's not painted since there will be paint chipping on the wheels. But the rest of the alt mode is mostly solid apart from the head. Nothing comes undone. And since he doesn't transform in the movie, we have no actual base size on how his alt mode is supposed to look like. And even though his alt mode is not based on an actual vehicle, it still looks menacing. So, final thoughts on this figure. This is pretty good. I got this for 270,000 rupees or around $16-ish, and with that price, I think it's pretty worth it too. If you don't like the paint scheme, you can get the TW-1028B, which is based on the actual SS56 color scheme. You're getting an SS56 but with some minor improvements on material part. Another great release from Baiwei, and I can't wait for that TW-1103 to be sold on my local resellers. That's gonna be my review of Baiwei TW-1028 Spock Interstellar Pirates. I hope you enjoyed it and found this review useful, and I'll see you guys next time.